Coming up on Morning Drive, the stars were out around the world while you were asleep, but did they shine brightly? After shooting an opening round 63, find out if Justin Thomas was able to extend his lead in South Korea, and which of the LPGA's marquee names made a move in Taiwan. We've got the overnight highlights. And it's Friday, so you know what that means. Fitness. Learn to be more efficient with your time in the gym with 2017 Volvic World Long Drive Champion Justin James, and a simple exercise to improve your arm extension with Dustin Johnson's trainer, Joey D.
If you are struggling with chicken wing, we're going to help you fix that so feel becomes real and you get your arm in the right position as the club takes its journey to the top.
Plus, as the Houston Astros turn to pitcher Justin Verlander tonight to stop the Yankees from advancing to the World Series, Verlander turns to us for help on his golf game. Find out what the Astros ace struggles with in his swing and how you can improve your game alongside him.
This is not a sport that I'm the best at.
All this and more this Friday, October 20th, 2017. And a very good Friday morning. This is Studio AP, and this is indeed Morning Drive. Gary Williams, Damon Hack, the big timer in just a moment. Bailey as well. It's the confluence of everything glorious in sports. All four major sports in action. Push hit golf overnight, and he always has a pleasant look on his face. But this morning, oh, he's happy because his Dodgers have advanced to the World Series for the first time since 1988.
Gary, I was 16 years old when Gibby went deep in Game 1 against the Oakland A's on the way to winning that World Series. It's been a long, dry spell for my Dodgers, but what an incredible night. A dream night, as Tiger Woods noted. He's a big-time Dodger fan as well, and a Raider fan. Raiders' big win over the Chiefs.
Yeah, very late. We didn't see any of it. And tonight, I'll be a little uptight, but I'll be asleep because I can't stay up and watch maybe the Yankees. And I never touch the money. They have a shot to see your Dodgers again.
Got to beat Verlander. We'll have something from him a little bit later on. What's happening? Yeah, three players tied atop the leaderboard at the Andalucia Valderrama Masters. Sergio Garcia, the 2011 champ. Joost Luiten, Robert Rock as well. Gary Williams, to the early second round highlights we go. Eduardo Molinari, he is a three-time winner on the European Tour, won the Trophy Hassan due over Paul Dunn in a playoff earlier this year. This is the par 3 third hole. Sticks it to a foot. He would go on to make the birdie putt.
All right, let's check in on John Rahm. Hasn't been a good week thus far. 4 over on the front. Here he is on the third hole, trying to sneak one in. Makes birdie, but Damon, he's in trouble to not see the weekend.
Playing alongside a 3-time major champion in Padraig Harrington, known for working on his game, tinkering with his swing. This is from the first cut. This approach shot. Now watch this shot, folks. In the air, hits the tree. So the ball lands on the green, the branch lands on the green. This is a par 5. We go on and 2 putts for par to stay 1 over on the day.
All right, 2-time major champion Martin Kaymer. Birdie putt here on the 5th downhill. He would make it his 3rd of the day, but still 2 over on the day.
Surprised to see that really talented group struggling. The conditions look absolutely tremendous. How about Ben Evans? He's a young player from England. In fact, grew up playing as part of that Faldo series, won a couple of amateur events. This is the 17th hole, his 3rd shot on the par 5. Almost holes out, taps in for birdie. Now 1 shot behind Garcia, Luiten, and Robert Rock.
All right, let's get back to Martin Kaymer. 2nd shot here on the 8th. And he's got a wedge in his hand, staring straight down the barrel. And he's staring at it because he knows it's good. How good? Well, almost a 2. He would tap in for birdie, get to 1 over.
And you see those sunny skies in Spain. As you take a look at the leaderboard, Sergio Garcia, the 2011 champ of this event. In fact, he beat Miguel Angel Jimenez by 1 shot in 2011. You see Robert Rock and Gil.
We'll see a lot of him later.
Yes, we will. It'll be a lot of fun on this Friday edition. Speaking of fun, let's say good morning to the big timer, Charlie Reimer.
All right, guys. Damon, Pay attention.
Okay.
We're going to learn something about the wedge play, the short game. Do I have your attention?
You do.
Okay, let's look at Ben Evans here. Now, let me talk about this shot for just a second. This is sort of a lengthy bunker shot, okay? So now, let's talk about wedges just a little bit. I think most people think that you always use the 60, the most lofted club out of the bunker. That's definitely not the case. When I get a mid-length or longer bunker shot, I go to my 54. These are my wedges right here. I have a 6-degree gap between the two of them. Now go ahead and roll this. I want you to notice he doesn't swing very hard at it. Why? Because it's that middle wedge. It goes a little bit lower. It releases. That's what he was looking for right there. So don't fall in love with one club for your bunker play. You got a couple wedges in there. Use them. Maybe even try a pitching wedge sometimes. A 9-iron. Tom Kite did a lot of really good play around the greens using a 9-iron on long bunker shots. So cool stuff. Be creative. Don't be afraid to use all the clubs in your bag. Okay, let's move forward. This is Andy Sullivan, and this ball is sort of suspended in that intermediate rough. Okay, go ahead and roll it. This isn't a good shot. I'm not picking on Andy Sullivan. This is something that happens a lot. So what happened is he didn't flub that, okay? What he did was he got that ball high in the club face. If you looked at his club right after he hit that shot, you would see the grass mark right there. When you hit it high in the club face, up towards the top, that ball's not going to go as far as you want. You want to get the ball always coming out of the bottom third of your wedge. That makes it a lot easier to control distance. Damon, I hope you were paying attention. Gary, I'm guessing he probably wasn't.
He wasn't. He wasn't at all. But when we're done at 9:30, you're going to get coverage, and you saw that Sergio's on the top of that leaderboard, and he's only played one hole. So you're going to see a lot of his second round as he looks to win. Damon pointed out he won back in 2011. Coverage from Valderrama continues at 9:30 Eastern. What else is happening now? Well, the PGA Tour in the middle of 3 events in Asia, and Luke List anchored down. Good Vandy boy. He's got his second 36-hole lead. Let's take a look. Justin Thomas, Charlie was the overnight leader. This is an odd circumstance here on the 5th hole. He's got what looks like almost a rash in front of his ball mark, and he's deciding, well, what do I do here?
Yeah, somebody was careless coming off of that green. It looked like maybe I don't see any spike issues in there. Maybe a caddy got a little careless, drug his shoe. Justin didn't think he could putt through that, so what he decided to do was just go right over the top. Sort of like an old school stymie is what that looked like right there.
David just cringed at the thought of him doing that.
Gosh, that looks difficult. Oh.
Now here he is on the 8th, and he struggled, but he wasn't alone, Charlie.
Yeah, he did not like that lie. You can see him go back and check it out. He just didn't do a good job of reading that lie. Never got committed to the shot.
3 over on the round now. Here he is. He eagled 18 in round 1. Different story here. Bunker shot his 3rd.
You can see it there too, the different color in the sand. It has to do with moisture content. He misread the sand on the first one. This one he had nothing he could do because that ball plugged in there. That's as good a shot as he could have played right there. He was short-sided, no green to work with. The problem arose when he misread the lie on that initial bunker shot.
Finished the day at 7 under. He's 2 shots out of the lead. Now, KJ Choi, boy, this would be a great story. His approach on the 8th.
Man, I am a huge KJ Choi fan. I love the way he plays the game. Love the way he conducts his business and his life outside the ropes as well. He's a solid guy.
What is this guy doing wearing a hat?
It must have been a little cold, but it ain't gonna stay on long. When you make a long one, you got to rip the beanie off right there.
You do indeed. That is Arlie Schneider-Jans now playing alongside him. 3-time winner on the PGA Tour, 09 U.S. Open champion, Lucas Glover. Point something out here, Charlie.
Well, Lucas, when he is on with a putting, is deadly, and you could see that ball rolling. He marks that ball, puts a mark on the equator. It never wobbled. That was beautiful.
And Luke List from the bunker here. His approach on the 4th, he would make that to save par. So you take a look, bogey-free 67. As I mentioned, his second 36-hole lead led the 2016 RBC Canadian, wound up finishing in a tie for 14th. Like I said, not only did he go to Vandy, he hits it a country mile. That's more than a mile, Charlie. You know that.
Oh, that's a probably a mile plus 10%. You know, 'cause everything's big in the country, right?
Exactly. Now, Justin Thomas, you know, he mentioned to Rich Lerner that he was fatigued coming into the week, but he shot to 63 in the opening round. And as I mentioned, though, Charlie, he wasn't the only one that struggled.
No, he wasn't. This golf course, I'm not familiar with it, but watching some of the coverage, it looks like a golf course where there's a lot of volatility. If you get hot with the driver and you put the ball in play, you can make a lot of birdies. If you get a little bit off with that driver, a little out of position, you're going to make some big numbers, and that's what we've seen. When we look at the scorecards, you see a lot of rounds. Some of these rounds might only have 3 or 4 or 5 pars. They're all over the place. Makes for fun watching if you're out there playing. It can be a little bit maddening because you'll see spurts where guys play 6, 7 holes and 5, 6 under par, and then they'll play 3 or 4 holes and 2, 3 or 4 over par.
One thing he said yesterday after the round was that he just had some bad luck as well. He thought he had some bad breaks. We saw some of the lies that he had. I'm looking at someone who basically probably got his bad round out of the way. We talk about how hard it is to back up a great round with another one.
I still want to know the true answer as to why that is.
I agree with you. It's very difficult to say why that happens, why you can't just go 63, 63, 63, 63, because it's golf.
Well, the last time you went really low, how did you back it up?
Not very well.
It's interesting. If you look at Justin, he shot the 59 at the Sony Open. He did a great job of backing that up with the 64. He shot the 63 at the U.S. Open at Erin Hills. Maybe not such a good job backing that up with 74. He's had some other low rounds, just mixed results. I just think it's just human nature. I mean, when you go out and you go super low, and the next day you start with a couple of pars, you know, you're like, oh man, you feel like you're 8 over.
Yeah.
And it's just golf is just. I mean, look at wire-to-wire winners, especially in big events throughout the history of golf. How many times does it happen? It just doesn't happen very much.
No, it doesn't.
You know, I think when you play this game long enough, you're like, well, I can get away with it for a while, but at some point, you know, it's going to catch up with me.
Yeah, and also backing up that 63 at the U.S. Open, he was contending in a major for the first time. Of course, he won the PGA. Now, we've got 36 to go, and you got a young man, only the second time, Luke List on the top of the leaderboard. It's been a while that Lucas Glover has won. So, a name on that leaderboard that you think is going to make a move?
I'd put all my chips in the middle of the table on Justin Thomas and sleep very well at night.
Yeah, you stole him in our morning meeting from me.
I did steal him in the morning meeting.
You said it really fast.
He's fatigued, though.
We know what he can do overseas. 2-time winner of the CIMB class. And listen, folks, last year in 2017, he was 3rd in scoring average. He was 6th in strokes gained tee to green. This is who he is. He's an explosive player. We've seen him take it deep time and time again. He got his bad round out of the way. Justin Thomas, that'd be my guy to make a move this week.
That's a good call, but you're wrong. I'm going with Patrick Reed. I mean, Patrick is, he's a scrappy guy. And I mentioned sort of the nature of this golf course. I think it sort of suits him well. He does a good job of, controlling that golf ball. Maybe when some of the other guys with a little bit more distance can go the 7 holes, play them in 5 or 6 under, the 4 holes and play them in 3 over. I don't think Patrick's got the 3 over in those 4-hole stretches. I think he likes where he stands right now, just 3 back. He's played a lot of good golf this season. The wins just haven't been there. He's certainly due to get back to winning golf mode. We all know it's in there.
Yeah, I'll take another guy who's 3 back, Mark Leishman, coming off his best season, 2 wins. He's the 16th ranked player in the world now. And he was also 16th in 3rd round scoring last season on the PGA Tour, meaning he has no problem making a move, and I think he will.
We've seen him quite a bit on leaderboards and championships.
That's some game.
Well.
That one does.
Absolutely.
Trevor Immelman is convinced he's got the goods to win a major.
And he hits a butter cut. Yes, he does. Also happening now, he has 2 players tied atop the leaderboard in Taiwan on the LPGA Tour, Jenny Shin and Yoon Hee Ji. You may recall Yoon Hee Ji is a U.S. Women's Open champion. Back to the highlights we go. Charlie and I were speaking of major champions. Shen Feng, we pick up the action, the par 4 16th hole, putting for birdie.
I love watching Shen play. Why? She does a lot of that, but she plays this game with a smile on her face, and I love that.
Got her 2 under, tied for 9th in the tournament. How about Sue Oh, her 3rd shot on the par 5, 18th from the fairway?
Yeah, this looks pretty good. Just how good? Well, I would call that perfect. I don't know. It sort of went in the left side. Perfect's more, dead center. But That's a nice way to finish the day.
Worked for me. How about American Brittany Altamar? You may recall she finished runner-up to Anna Nordquist at the Evian on this long putt for birdie.
Yeah, nice little left edger. Did a good job of hanging in there. So many folks at home, those left to right putts, they come up short and right, get them to the hole.
6 under par heading into the weekend. Lydia Ko, former world #1, struggled in round 2. Here she is, her second shot on the par 4 8th hole.
Yeah, good lie wedge in her hand. I mean, she's gone like years at a time and not hit a shot that poorly. Just not quite have it together right now.
Another struggling former world #1, Ariya Jutanugarn, with a poor chip.
Yeah, that one is sort of a grainy lie. I mean, definitely looked hard, but she had just come off a triple bogey a couple holes ago. I think maybe that's the combination of a tough lie and maybe a little loss of concentration.
She posts 75, Ko 74. Jenny Shin, her second shot on the par 4 10th hole.
Yeah, I like this golf swing right here, taking it from the center of the green to that flag stick. That's about as good as you can do.
Great shot, setting up a birdie. Now Shin shares the lead with fellow South Korean Yoon Hee Ji. Ji found the bunker on the par 4 8th. Here she is, her third shot from the sand.
Yeah, that's sort of an odd lie. I think maybe that was actually up in the face there. Damon, and the fact of the matter is, when you go out and practice your short game, when's the last time you practiced odd lies like that? I'm going to bet never. You put it in a perfect position, level all the time. You know what? You get lies like that on the golf course, practice them because you're going to get them.
Practice what you don't do well. She would clean that up for her par. You see 2 tied atop the leaderboard at 7 under par. Brittany Altamar, what a story she was in France. She's 1 shot back.
Yeah, she certainly was. What else is happening? Well, the first event in the Schwab Cup playoffs. And these two guys have had the 2 best seasons. They're off together at 1:06 Eastern Time at the Dominion Energy Charity Classic. Coverage right here at 2:30 Eastern. Let's swing it over. Say good morning. How are you, Bailey Mosier?
Good morning, Gary. I'm doing well, thank you. Yeah, all signs are looking at a duel in the desert between those two guys, but we're going to have much more on the playoffs for the Charles Schwab Cup coming up in just a little bit. Right now, though, I do have your tee sheet. So the holidays, they are coming up. We've got your back. We have not 1, but 2 Fitness Friday segments on tap for you this morning, keeping you lean and in golf shape for the fall and winter months. We're going to focus on time efficiency in the gym. And how about Bernard Langer? He is a man that knows all about efficiency. He has won 3 consecutive Charles Schwab Cups and is looking to make it 4 in a row this year. Who has the best chance of stopping him? Well, we're going to answer that and more as we preview the playoffs that get underway today. And later tonight, Justin Verlander is on the mound against the Yankees, hoping to force a Game 7 and stave off elimination. So Verlander, he's also an avid golfer, and there's one part of his game that he wishes he could eliminate. What is it? Find out later this morning, and find out how to cure it if perhaps you have the same issue in your own game. And the cure for pretty much anything? Puppies, of course. As we take a look at social media, look what we found here. This dog, you want this dog. Forget sit, stay, roll over. This one goes and retrieves your golf balls. If this had been Ben Hogan's dog, though, he'd probably be pretty bored. The ball would always be in the same place. How about this other video we have for you on the greens we all need help with, right? So this puppy, you'll never miss a putt again. Look how cute that is. And he's so excited. He made a couple inches putt. Good job for that little puppy. Adorable. Isn't that, Charlie? Is that, you got a new dog recently, didn't you?
I have a new puppy at home, little Buzz. He's a golden retriever.
Buzz.
He's 3 months
Does he do that?
old, and he's wonderful.
He owns you.
He does own me. He's digging great big giant holes in the backyard, and I go, no, Buzz.
Are you taking him to the PGA Tour Champions with you? Take him to the PGA Tour